Live from Spartan Field in Sparkill, New York, CSI Sportsnet welcomes you back into NCAA Division II soccer coverage, streaming audio only on CSI Sportsnet. In today's East Coast Conference matchup, the College of Staten Island Dolphins take on the St. Thomas Aquinas College Spartans. Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, my name is Joe Foreman on the call solo for CSI Sportsnet. If you want live video from this game, including commentary from the Spartans broadcast team, you can check that out by scanning the QR code on your screen. However, if you are a fan of the Dolphins and want our call, you can stay right here and pair us with the video over on Flow College, assuming, of course, that you have a Flow College subscription. Earlier today, women's soccer opened up our doubleheader here in Sparkill, and after falling behind 1-0 in the first half, it was the Dolphins that came away with a big conference victory, defeating the Spartans by a final score of 2-1. Dolphins are racing a one-goal halftime deficit to pick up what for them is a huge conference win, and it very well could propel them on a push toward the postseason. Saturday's match becomes even bigger with the victory today, because if the Dolphins win it, you then own the tiebreaker over two teams, and come the end of the season, that is what you need to make the postseason. Spartans will kick things off. They are attacking from left to right relative to my position. I am about 5 to 10 feet, probably closer to 10, 15 feet behind the corner flag, alongside the Spartans' goal. And we are underway from Sparkill. Spartans in white kit tops with maroon shorts, maroon numbers as well. Dolphins in their black kits on the front side of their shirts. The color split between black and Columbia blue. Black shorts and black socks to go along with mostly black cleats for the Dolphins as well. Stack with it in their own end. They play it toward the near side. Now, admittedly, there were much more challenging pronunciations on this men's Spartan roster than there were on the women's. I'll do my best with those. Listened in best I could with a headset on anyway to starting lineup introductions. Ball in the corner as Alvarado toes the touchline. He had three Spartans surrounding him. Stack finally able to clear into the midfield where the ball was headed by Luis Asensio Cueva. Brian Paleo taken down, grabbed a hold of the jersey, probably felt like he had to there, and Spartans, as a result, attempted a quick shot on goal. I thought perhaps they were trying to win the free kick by just playing it away with the advantage, but they did not get that free kick, and it was an easy save in net. Now, we'll get you the starting lineups in just a moment. Meanwhile, it is Spartans' possession, once again working out of their own end. Stack working it from sideline to sideline here. As they play it back to goal. Ryan Robert NJ in goal for the Spartans. As during that entire sequence, the ball did not exit the Spartans' end of the field. As I mentioned, they were working effectively side to side. And that culminates with a foul committed by the Spartans, awarding the Dolphins a free kick on the edge of the attacking third. Peterson, LaRose, and Karai Arslan lined up over the ball. Dolphin attackers near the edge of the 18, aligned with the back post. It's played through from LaRose to Arslan. Arslan wanted to cross and ran out of room. That was defended well by the Spartans. Dolphins perhaps trying to catch them off guard just a bit. Through ball off the free kick. Spartans were not fooled. Starters for the Dolphins: in goal, Lucas Schelling. Rest of their starters in numerical order: Torres, Asensio Cueva, Beaton, Arslan, Villegas, Tawaya, LaRose, Atanga, Paleo, and Alvarado. For the Spartans, in goal, as I mentioned, is NJ. The rest of their starters in numerical order: DeGiorgi, De La Vibora. Bit of a glare. I had the shade over my laptop during game one. Not so lucky here during game two. Tagliavia, Felici, Ortega, Zaitun, Pavlu, Allegria, Deschriver, and Cardozo, the starters for Stack. Hopefully I didn't butcher those too badly. Dolphins will throw from the near side. Neither team has put together a truly threatening chance yet. Asensio Cueva to throw. It skips into the midfield onto the foot of Paleo. Dolphins under a lot of pressure here, passing quickly. Paleo for the corner. Tawaya giving chase, and he won't get there. Goal kick for the Spartans. But the Dolphins have had them contained for the most part within their own end for the first several minutes. Spartans moving forward again into the midfield. NJ in goal with it on his foot. The Dolphins immediately stifling that movement into the midfield. Spartans will try again, playing one toward the attacking third. Schelling there, waiting at the top of the box to scoop it up as that ball traveled through everybody. Schelling sends one toward the sideline, knocked down in front of the Dolphins bench. Atanga able to keep it in. And it's cleared over the sideline by Wolfgang Alvarado. Or at least it appeared so. Alvarado may have sent that off a Spartan instead as the Dolphins throw. LaRose surrounded by defenders. Had to play it back to Schelling. And again, Schelling sends one toward the Dolphins bench. Bodies spilling down to the turf along the midfield stripe. Ball last contacted by the Dolphins. Once again, the ball on the foot of NJ. Spartans get through the midfield, but LaRose and Atanga both there to cut off any lane for an attack as LaRose tried to put one on goal from almost midfield. That draws some emphatic reactions from the Dolphins bench. NJ was well beyond his line there. It would have taken a perfect shot, but the room over the top was certainly there if LaRose could have put it on goal. Ball on the foot of Pavlu now as the Spartans once again work out of their own end. Felici looked to turn upfield. He was denied. DeGiorgi surrounded by Dolphins, has it taken away. Chance here for CSI. But Tawaya had his pass contacted. Teams exchanging possession in the midfield now. Ball was chipped in the air back toward the Spartans' goal. And the Spartans trying to get it out of their own end. Couldn't keep it in along the touchline. Asensio Cueva to throw. It rebounds off the foot of Arslan up the pitch, but Paleo makes a great tackle. DeGiorgi had a lot of green in front of him, but Paleo with the sliding tackle cuts off his lane to move up the pitch. It's a throw-in for the Spartans. Not much progress made there. Felici threw it into the midfield, and it bounces all the way toward the corner as the Dolphins clear one out of the complex. So Spartans slowly working their way up the pitch. Didn't have much in the way of passing and dribbling their way through, but a series of throw-ins now have them just beyond the corner flag for yet another throw. Throw taken short off the body of the Spartan, and Dolphins are awarded a throw from the same spot where the Spartans took their last throw, just adjacent to that corner flag. Ty Torres with a long throw up the pitch. We've seen he's capable of that. Dolphins trying to work through the midfield. Not a lot of space. Arslan got pretty good way up the pitch there, considering how little room he had. Throw in headed by Torres. Comes to rest in front of LaRose. Again, he is surrounded by three Spartans, and that ball played through, was cut off initially, and now in the corner the Spartans have a chance. That shot just over the frame. And a quality chance early for Stack off of some aggressive dribbling by LaRose. He was surrounded by defenders. Had it taken away from him, and very quickly the Spartans turned that into an attacking threat. Off of the goal kick, the Dolphins were quickly awarded a throw-in at midfield along the far side, but they could not keep possession. Spartans will throw now. A long throw into the midfield, volleyed into the air. It lands right in front of the Stack bench. Dolphins continue to apply pressure along the sideline. Pass intercepted in the midfield by Paleo, but taken right back by the Spartans. Aggressive challenge by Paleo just beyond midfield. It does award the Dolphins a throw. Good physical defense from Paleo there. Off the throw, the Spartans did gain possession quickly. They have it center of the pitch just beyond midfield. Through ball intercepted by Atonga. And Atonga got spilled into the scorer's area, and hopefully he did not hit his head. But from here, you could see he took a stumble head first. There was not a lot of room between the touchline and the scorer's area, and if you lose your balance there, you don't have much time to gain it. And it looked like Atonga went head first into that wooden platform. Fortunately, he was able to brace it with his hands, and he's okay, remains in the game. Spartans now working toward the near side. Much of that action took place over on the far side. And again, Stack working sideline to sideline. We've seen that early. They've been looking to move the ball side to side until they find a lane that they're ready to pounce on. They've now worked up the far side, and Arslan was able to force Spartans into conceding a throw. Making that run was Felici. And Felici thought it should have been a Spartans throw. Ball rolling up the sideline, and it will be a Stack throw this time. Both teams have looked to utilize the long throw early. They're going to move this throw back a bit. A lot of contact as that ball traveled in off the throw, but the Spartans quickly turn and move forward. Again, a Tonga there to intercept an attempted through ball. This time he's forced to clear. Alvarado was able to get to it before it bounced over the sideline. He now retreats toward the corner. Dolphins backed up in their own end, clear it. And considering where they were on the pitch, that was a good effort on the clearance. Spartans waiting to throw here, and they are set up mostly in the box, or at least very close to it. It would be tough to reach from here. The throw does make it toward the edge of the 18. It's volleyed back into the box, and the Dolphins were able to clear it away into the midfield, but a flag goes up on the run by Villegas, who did end up one-on-one with the keeper, but I think he knew he was offsides as well. NJ. Plays it up the far side. Cardozo, short pass, was taken by the Dolphins. As we have another whistle, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Spartans. Both teams thought it was theirs. That ball sent up over the sideline, near side. Throw in coming up for the Dolphins. That ball sent all the way down into the Spartans' end of the pitch off the throw. It ends up with NJ again, and the Dolphins nearly took it away at the top of the 18. Spartans still trying to get it out, and the clearance just got over the foot of Villegas. Good touch there to keep it in for Stack along the sideline by DeGiorgi, and the ball ends up beyond midfield as a result. So the Spartans went from in a really dangerous spot, nearly turning it over in the box, to clearing it beyond midfield with possession. Once again, Stack forced to regroup. Once again, working sideline to sideline. DeGiorgi short pass into the midfield. De La Bevora got rid of it, and once again, it's with the Spartan backs. Cardozo short pass up the far side this time. DeShriver moving forward, played it toward the top of the box. Dolphins there waiting. It's headed back into the midfield. Tawaya looked to turn and take it with him, but too much traffic. Arslan found Villegas with a nifty pass in the midfield. Villegas up the wing. Alvarado, nearest Dolphin, shielded off the ball. Good defensive play there by DeShriver, not allowing Alvarado to get there. Goal kick once again for Stack. Ball sent from the midfield up the far side by the Spartans. They work it into the corner, chance to cross. And a lot of contact there. Bodies end up down on the pitch. It was a good, strong tackle by the Dolphins, as that was a shot attempt out of heavy traffic that ended up in the netting. Nowhere close on that one. From where I'm positioned, it is impossible to have an opinion on any play regarding contact that occurs down at the other end of the pitch. Right now, that's where the Spartans are shooting. Ball punted beyond the midfield by Schelling. It's volleyed in the air. Body down by Alvarado. And the Spartans control. Just too many white jerseys around Alvarado once again. NJ, short pass over to Cardozo. Right back to NJ. A lot of contact there, and the Dolphins do take control in the midfield. Palaio shoots wide. Long shot by Brian Palaio comes up empty. Spartans get to work again out of their own end. It's been a much more methodical build-up so far for Stack. The Dolphins have worked very quickly, haven't found themselves in their own end for very long. Much of the play in this first half has taken place in front of me. Spartans looking to change that here as they string together some passes, resulting in a shot, but it was a very long attempt by DeGiorgi, non-threatening. Easy save for Schelling. Schelling looking up the pitch. Sends one into the midfield. Set up into the air by Stack. Player still waiting for it to come down, and finally it is sent all the way back the other way. That was beaten. NJ has had as many touches as you'd see a goalkeeper get at this point in the match. He has been very busy. Spartans with it up the far side. Now have it in the midfield. Taken away by LaRose. LaRose squeezed it in for Villegas, but Villegas had nowhere to go. And now the Spartans look to counter. That one played toward the box. Good first touch. Shot. Not a strong one. And an opportunity goes by the wayside there for Ortega. Sebastian Ortega received a really nice ball. Had a good first touch, but did not get enough on the shot. Spartans still working in the attacking third here. And they're beginning to gain some momentum now. Cross in front. Travels wide. Shot was sent into traffic. And the Dolphins, attempting to clear it away, sent it up into the air. That second attempt had goal-scoring potential, but it was not on target. This cross results in a bicycle kick attempt. And the ball rolls out of play in the corner. First substitutions of the game in for the Spartans here. We'll get you those in just a moment as the Dolphins send a goal kick all the way up the field. Villegas hoped to turn quickly, but again, too much traffic. NJ was nearly contacted by Villegas, who was right on top of him as he was forced to get rid of that quickly. Dolphins really putting a lot of pressure on right now down around Spartans' goal. That's been a recurring theme early. Ball volleyed out of the midfield. It's a foot race up the sideline. Getting to it was the newest Spartan who just entered the game, so it didn't take long for Nick DeYoung to get his first touch. DeYoung not only got his first touch, but he had to sprint up the sideline to try and get there first. Dolphins now working out of their own end. Torres with it. Torres looked to connect with Asensio Cueva up the sideline, but that was a poor pass, easily intercepted by the Spartans. DeGiorgi ran out of room along the touchline, but wisely sent it off a pair of Dolphins. And with that, the Spartans earn their first corner kick. First several minutes belonged to CSI. The last several have belonged to the Spartans. I'd love to tell you who's taking the corner kick, but we are way too far away to give you that information. We can tell you the corner is on the way. Back post headed right back in the direction of the corner taker, who is there waiting. Good move there and a shot into the parking lot. Good attempt there on the takeaway by DeShriver. Forced the giveaway and immediately put one toward goal, but he had way too much leg on that shot. And it's moments like that where I'm reminded why you must park in row 2. Goal kick sent well beyond midfield. And the Dolphins are awarded a throw along the far side, right at the midfield stripe. Stack looking to work it back toward the center of the pitch as they control off the Dolphins' throw. Putting the brakes on was for Lisi, and again NJ with it. Sent it up the pitch and fell down on his way to the turf. And we have a whistle. It came from away from the play, as we're going to have a yellow card shown here. I believe Alvarado was shown the yellow, but it was hard to tell if the official was putting that yellow up in his direction or down the pitch in the direction of one of the Spartans. Well, there was a day where I might have taken that whole box from women's soccer, but they came over and offered me a post-game meal. Unfortunately, we are relegated to only eating the food I prepare these days. It's been a rough first month, but eventually we're going to get used to it. But thank you to Gabriela Castro on women's soccer for the offer. Meanwhile, out on the pitch, play continues with Stack moving forward toward the attacking third. Once again, they really couldn't find a lane to pass through the middle of the pitch, and it's been a recurring theme earlier. The Dolphins have kept them largely contained along the sidelines. Stack looking for a lane here. Quick passing in front, and a shot on goal is easily saved by Schelling. That's one way to make some space in the center of the pitch. Can't move the ball much faster than that. Quick give and go through the top of the 18, and Schelling right there to make the save. Ball ends up back on the foot of Schelling after a short goal kick. And in the midfield, Tawaya upended his marker. He had Cardozo right on top of him. Paleo plays Asensio Cueva up the sideline. Asensio Cueva runs out of room. And it will be a Spartans throw. Throw taken a long way up the pitch by Felici. It ends up with Beaton. Beaton plays it back to his goalkeeper, Schelling. Schelling sends one into the bench area along the sideline. Spartans throw. NJ. Short pass. And there were some more substitutions for Stack as well. Get you at least one of those momentarily as he had the last touch on the pass from NJ. Eitan Zaitun. Good chance I butchered that, but battling the sunlight and my lack of familiarity with the names, we do our best. Meanwhile, we had a foul in the midfield. Dolphins waiting to bring on some substitutions as well. Let's see if those come before or after this free kick. Substitutions will wait as Peterson LaRose lines up for another Dolphins free kick. LaRose sends one into the box, headed straight up in the air and bodied away by Stack. They look to move forward quickly. Good job there by Mika Liu to fend off a challenge. The ball rolled all the way down the pitch, and the Dolphins clear it away over the far side in the corner. We await a Spartans throw from adjacent to the corner flag. And they are gearing up to throw this a long way, hoping to reach the box. Their goalkeeper, NJ, is a few yards shy of midfield. Everybody forward here as that's headed straight up into the air, headed out of the box by Tawaya. Ball is off the official in the box. And they're going to drop it right near the edge of the 18. Now, the official became very animated after the ball hit him. I'm not sure why. He's trying to position everybody. There's a large crowd near where that ball was dropped, and play is resumed. Spartans work it up the near side. The Dolphins did get a foot on it, but that wasn't enough to break up the attacking play. Running out of room along the sideline was Felici. Dolphins will send on some substitutions here. But with those substitutions coming on at the other end of the pitch, we might have to wait a bit to see who they are. Cardozo to throw for the Spartans once again, and with a throw-in adjacent to the corner flag, I would guess this one is headed for the box. And sure enough it is. It's in traffic, volleyed. That ball did not end up on goal. And now the Dolphins with a chance to counter. Here they come. Arslan lost his footing, does recover, but the Spartans recover defensively as well. Ball cleared into the woods again. The insects are out in full force, and they are eliciting some colorful reactions. Meanwhile, off of the Dolphins' throw, the ball rolled straight over the touchline. Nobody ever made contact, and the Spartans will have another goal kick here, played short. Stack once again moving it sideline to sideline. Still working out of their own end. This has been trying in my head to figure out exactly how many matches I've covered. I want to say this is number 6 for me for men's soccer this year. Perhaps number 5, as the Spartans trying to play up the far side, put the through ball over the touchline. Goal kick, Staten Island coming up, but this is probably the most methodical approach I've seen in building an attack for any of CSI's opponents this year. They have worked almost exclusively east to west until reaching the midfield. And then from there, they've looked to turn up the sideline quickly and work from there. Dolphins, I don't believe, have put a shot on goal yet. In the early going, much of the possession time belonged to CSI. As a handball was certainly missed, but I'm not sure who was going to call it. There was really nobody close. That being said, it looks like the call was Spartans' throw. Instead, it's going to be a Dolphins' throw. So CSI does get the benefit of the throw-in. Throwing off the body of a Spartan right onto the foot of Arslan. His shot easily saved by NJ. Stack with it again off the easy save by their goalkeeper. Once again, they work sideline to sideline. That pass finds an opening in the midfield up the center of the pitch. And immediately the ball is played back out to the far side. Dolphins rally quickly to get there. And again, Stack will slow it down. Play returns to the near side. Spartans wanted a foul call. They will get it as the clock is stopped. Group discussion ongoing. 3 Spartans involved along with a Dolphin. Bader Mesrar was the lone CSI player involved in that discussion as the Spartans take the free kick short. Working from the midfield. They send it toward the far side. And that ball is sent into the box where Schelling grabs it out of the air. Not any attackers close to that pass attempt. Dolphins look to work up the sideline now. Arslan forced into retreat, being pressured back toward the corner. Got it away, and control was briefly taken by the Spartans as, again, the ball is cleared over the touchline for a Stack throw. So far, they've played nearly all of their throws to the box, and it looks like this one will be no different. Anything from this third of the pitch, they've tried to put it into the 18. If they could line up on the roadway outside and throw, they would. Good throw. Couldn't tell if it was headed or punched away by a Dolphin. Nonetheless, it is cleared back to the corner where possession was given up by Stack, and that's a good foul because the Dolphins, had they controlled that ball, would have had nothing but green in front of them up the sideline. That's one of those fouls you're more than okay with. Off a short free kick, the Dolphins look to move up the sideline. Their pass intercepted. And now the Spartans control in the midfield. They work it from the near side to the far side. Dolphins closing in, continuing to apply some pressure. NJ got rid of it. And now the long ball up the pitch. Has Beaton waiting for it. He heads it. Ball back with the Spartans in the midfield. Quick passing again in the attacking third, trying to find some room in the middle. None there as they play it to the far side. For Lisi, he split a couple of defenders with his pass. He gets it back in the corner. Working along the touchline, tries to cross. And that will award Stack a corner kick as the cross attempt was deflected over the touchline by the Dolphins. Get you time remaining in just a moment as we had a couple of substitutions come on. I would presume that we are just inside of 7 minutes to go in the half. The last foul occurred at 7:21. 6.5 to go as a corner kick results in a header just high. That is, I think, without a doubt, the best chance for either side. On the doorstep, Spartans had a chance off the head of DeYoung. He was right there and put it over the bar. Dolphins, without a doubt, have been on their heels for the last 15 or 20 minutes now. Early in this match, the Spartans really couldn't get out of their own end. But since that time, Dolphins haven't really possessed the ball much. The Spartans with a long through ball up the center of the pitch and off a deflection, they control. Another good pass, top of the box shot saved by Schelling. That was Nico Gallegos with the shot. And he had some room there, tried to bend one around Schelling just inside of the post, but Dolphins goalkeeper was there. Definitely his most difficult save of the match. Meanwhile, Hugo Sariat checks in for the Dolphins, or I should say, checked in at a forward spot not too long ago. He replaced Villegas as that ball was chipped over the Dolphins' backs. Beaton sent it back the other way with an attempt over his head. Had to play that ball over the shoulder with his foot. A bicycle kick without exactly leaving his feet. Dolphins earn a throw in the midfield. Ball sent back the other way by Paleo. LaRose shielded off the ball and was whistled for a foul as he worked against Cardozo. Free kick for the Spartans in these closing minutes of half number one. Dolphins looking to get into the win column in conference play. Ball still bouncing around in the midfield. Finally comes to rest on the foot of LaRose. He connects with Arslan. Now Sariat, and he couldn't control it. Headed by Beaton. And again, Stack with it in the midfield. Arslan had pressured from behind. But Stack continues to possess. They find room up the sideline once again. Gallegos toward the top of the box. And the Dolphins have conceded another penalty. We've seen it already this year. A big one was conceded against American International, and now Dolphins are potentially facing a one-goal deficit as they concede the penalty on the contact by Ty Torres. It was a generally non-threatening situation. I don't think they had reached anywhere near a threat level where you'd get that aggressive defensively. So by my estimation, the Dolphins have given the Spartans a gift here. Really no way to tell how forceful the contact was from this distance. It's also tough to make out who's taking the penalty. It looks like number 6, Dwayne Swazo, but really tough to tell from how far away we are. PK on the way. Hesitation, it's shot wide. That was, in fact, Jorge de la Vibora. And after hesitating over the ball ahead of his shot, he sent one well wide. And if you're the Spartans, that one certainly stings. A golden opportunity to go in front off of the penalty, and instead we remain 0-0 in the closing minutes of this first half. We have not reached the final minute yet. We are getting close. Certainly getting close. Spartans will throw from the near side. And the Dolphins intercept in the midfield off of that throw. Trying to control it, they do. As Rar puts the brakes on. Women's soccer seated in front of me, loving that dribbling from Mesrar. But the Spartans have it back. Good tackle by Mesrar. Did dislodge the ball there. Soriat now pressuring. Ferlisi had to retreat, and NJ had to clear. Clearance didn't get very far. But a good job there by Gallegos to send it a bit further up the pitch. Ball still in the midfield. The Dolphins have it again. LaRose, quick turn. In the attacking third, he is surrounded by 3 defenders. Had to give it up to Asensio Cueva. Asensio Cueva back to Torres. Spartans continue to apply pressure here. Schelling sent it toward the sideline. And the flag is up for offsides. Benvenuto flag for the offsides as we enter the final minute of play here in the first period. First half, I should say. I've called too much hockey this week. 3 periods too many of hockey, perhaps. Spartans possess in the attacking third, working toward the corner. They're taking their time. This could be their final attacking setup of the half. Dolphins had possession briefly at the edge of the box. Ball ends up back in the midfield. And there's a strike toward goal. And it's into the netting. So that may do it for the first half. That last attempt off the foot of Cardoso. And Schelling will not look to attempt a goal kick as the final seconds tick off the clock here in the first half. And there is the most unique horn in the business. I've never heard one quite like that, but once again it brings us to halftime. No score at the break between the Dolphins and Spartans, 0-0. As we enter halftime, we'll be back with you in 15 minutes with the second half. This is CSI Sportsnet audio-only coverage of CSI Dolphins soccer. Once again, no score at the break between the Dolphins and Spartans. Joe Foreman back with you from Spartan Field in Sparkill, New York, as we get set to begin the second half between the College of Staten Island and St. Thomas Aquinas College. No score between these two East Coast Conference teams as the Dolphins are still in search of their first conference victory. We're still waiting for our first goal in this one as well. The men looking to make it a clean sweep for CSI in today's ECC doubleheader as the women won 2-1 earlier in the day. Spartans thus far are 2-0 in conference play this year, so this win would be a big one for the Dolphins, who are 0-1-1 against the ECC. They lost to 2-0 Roberts Wesleyan and tied with 0-1 Malloy. We have kickoff in half number 2. The Dolphins possess first. They work up the near side. Not a lot of room for that pass, but Benvenuto was able to bend it ahead to LaRose, and LaRose commits the foul. Free kick for the Spartans down around the corner. It's taken short. Stack works up the sideline. And Beaton sends a souvenir into the roadway outside the complex. Another throw in for Stack. Played back into their own end. They get it to the far side now. Teams contesting for the ball right around midfield along that sideline. And the Spartans control, volleyed ahead. It drops in over the shoulder of Torres, but he does a really good job to maintain positioning right up until the touchline, where he lost that positioning, got it back, and draws a whistle. They're going to have Schelling take the free kick after Torres was knocked down. Still awaiting that free kick. Schelling lined up over the ball. Players making their way up pitch, and now a few of them headed back towards Schelling. And we still wait. To my knowledge, the clock was not stopped, so play finally resumes here. Ball bounces all the way down the pitch. The Dolphins trying to gain possession in the corner. And that is going to be a throw-in for the Spartans. Spartans work it from that far side where they took the throw over to the near side. And trying to play it to the center of the pitch, they briefly lost possession, but gain it right back as the Dolphins look to turn quickly onto the attack. Stack with it again, center of the pitch in the midfield. They send it back toward the near side. There is room. Spartans work into the attacking third. They put the brakes on that attack. And there's a strong tackle to dispossess the Shriver. Dolphins now look to head back the other way. LaRose, midfield. Looking for Arslan in the corner, but it was headed away. That ball never reached Arslan. If it had, Dolphins may have had something brewing there. It was punted out to the midfield by NJ. Mesrar sends it over to the far side, kept it on the volley by Asensio Cueva. Kept it again along the touchline by the Spartans. That ball sent off the back of Paleo. Paleo's pass broken up. Stack had it for a moment. And it looks like they might keep it. We'll see which way that whistle was going. It is indeed a foul against the Dolphins. Spartans Off the free kick. Work it into the box. Chance for a shot. It's blocked. And a dangerous moment there. Culminates in a blocked shot from in tight. There's another attempt just over the bar. A long strike there from Jocks to Shriver. And he put that one just over the bar. That was a quality attempt from a long way out. For now, we stay scoreless. Schelling's goal kick travels beyond midfield despite the fact that he sent it right up into the wind. Takeaway there by William Lopez. Now Mesrar over to LaRose. LaRose avoids a challenge. And his pass for Asensio Cueva easily taken by the Spartans. LaRose sprints back to regain possession. Plays one up the sideline. It lands in the midfield. And a whistle comes in for a Dolphins foul. Free kick played toward the center of the pitch, just beyond the midfield stripe. DeYoung working toward the center of the pitch. Gets through some traffic. Ball now on the opposite sideline. Spartans taking their time. Felici gets around his marker into the corner. Cross in front broken up. And Mesrar, thinking about what to do with it, sends it off of a Spartan. It did not go over the touchline, which is what everyone expected. And we play on. The ball kept in along the touchline as the Spartans work it back toward the near side. Ball played through to the corner. Benvenuto is there defensively for the Dolphins. There's a cross, center of the box. And just not enough attackers there for Stack. It was a good ball from DeShriver, but nobody there to receive it beyond De La Vibora, who got the initial touch and just couldn't turn toward goal. He received it in a good spot, but couldn't make anything of it. Spartans were trying for the cross again, ran out of room, and the Dolphins are awarded a goal kick. Torres, off of the goal kick, works up the far side. Long ball up the pitch toward Villegas, and the Spartans are forced to clear it away. So the Dolphins went from goal kick to a throw, deep in the attacking third. Throw-in's played short. LaRose sends one toward goal, and there's nobody there except NJ. Spartans once again look to build out of their own end. Aggressive defense there by Lopez. Spartans will try the other sideline. No room there, and they'll play it back to the far side. Long ball up the center of the pitch. And a good first touch, but the through ball cut off. Dolphins well aware of what was developing in front of them there. Atanga for LaRose. LaRose pressured back beyond midfield. Tried to switch play to the far side. And a whistle comes in for a foul against Luis Asensio Cueva. We've seen a few Dolphin fouls early in the second half as the Spartans are awarded another free kick. Spartans work into the attacking third. Beaton clears. LaRose over to Lopez. Lopez absorbs contact, gets rid of it. Now LaRose, quick tic-tac-toe passing there with Arslan, but Spartans regain it. They ran out of space along the far side. And the Dolphins will throw. Pressure applied by LaRose, and Dolphins do force the giveaway in the midfield. Now they play it over to the near side. Benvenuto bends one around the defense. Villegas tripped over the ball and took a spill into the fence. Quick throw in taken by Stack. Once again, they work east to west along the back line. And a giveaway in the midfield springs the Dolphins forward, but not very far. There's a takeaway by LaRose. LaRose plays one toward the box. It gets through Villegas. Dolphins claiming it was touched. And indeed it was. So the Dolphins will set up for the corner. And there is a Spartan down. Clock not stopped yet, but we might be headed there. And I think they just stopped it, but they are so far away from where I am, it's easy to mistake the signal. Still don't know who the fallen player was, but he's back up to his feet. This corner is the first for CSI. The Dolphins did not have anybody lined up over the ball. They were waiting to see what the outcome would be with the injured Spartan. LaRose now set up for the corner kick. Lopez close by if LaRose elects to play it short. Lopez is being shadowed. He'll back off now. And they do play it short to him. And they redirected it right back to LaRose. So Dolphins effectively turn a corner into a throw. With how closely they were playing Lopez, I'm a bit surprised that they tried that. Now, this may have been the intent. Torres, as I mentioned earlier, capable of a long throw. They brought him up to throw into the box. It's a good throw. Headed away by the Spartans. It rolls all the way to the other sideline. Dolphins do track it down there. Arslan forced to retreat all the way back into the midfield. Bad giveaway. And the Dolphins do recover defensively as it's crossed in front and scooped up by Schelling. A very, very dangerous moment there for the Dolphins as Arslan, being forced into retreat, made a really bad pass, and it nearly sprung the Spartans forward into a one-on-one situation with Schelling. Dolphins do control in the midfield here after Schelling sent it up the pitch. Quick passing as the Dolphins work into the attacking third. LaRose lost it, and Arslan got a piece briefly but couldn't hold it. Spartans just trying to get it out of their own end, and they do, as they send it over the far side for a Dolphins throw taken immediately. Asensio Cueva sends one into the midfield. Lopez there. Lopez has some room. Wanted Villegas and didn't get enough air on that ball. Another midfield collision results in a player down right back to his feet. And I think there may have been an advantage played there as there was a foul called against the Dolphins. So free kick for the Spartans, played short. They waste no time taking that last free kick as they work it into the center of the pitch. Dolphins applying a lot of pressure on the ball handler, and they do get a foot on it. Beaton interrupts the pass, clears it away. LaRose had a piece in the midfield, but it's taken from him. Stack regrouping in the back. They now work into the midfield. Entering the attacking third, they send it down toward the corner, hoping to cross. They will. It's punched away by Schelling, headed in front, and the shot was blocked. A dangerous moment for the Dolphins again. It was headed in front to set up De La Vibora, and the Dolphins blocked the shot to prevent the attempt on goal. But now a Spartans corner kick has Stack putting some pressure on CSI. Perhaps they thought about playing it short. Instead, they will wave LaRose back. Now the corner on the way, and Mesvar clears it into the midfield. LaRose sprinting after it. He got a piece with the body, sends it forward. Villegas there. Spartans in scramble mode right now. NJ had to clear it into the midfield. He came beyond the 18, had to kick it. And now the Spartans on the counter have some room, have a chance on goal, and it's off the bar! The net was empty. It was chipped over Schelling, and DeYoung was unable to put it beneath the bar. What a chance for the Spartans as they countered quickly off the Dolphins' opportunity, wasting no time getting it down the pitch. And CSI survives what was a shot off the bar. Fast-paced action back and forth these last couple of minutes. And we have another Spartans corner here. Corner kick, gloved by Schelling, who bobbled. And that was dangerous for a couple of moments there. Atanga up the sideline, Benvenuto, right back to Atanga. Villegas shielded off the ball, and NJ had to dive on top of it. Gives a high five to his back for a job well done. That was Zaitun there defensively. And had he not been there, Villegas may have had a chance to get to that one. Spartans have it in the midfield. Beaton did get a piece, but couldn't find a teammate, and the Spartans regained control. That ball threw everybody and onto the foot of Schelling. Looked like it could be a promising play in the 18, but didn't look like the man at the head of that attack, De La Vibora, saw it coming. Spartans had it briefly in the midfield. They send it toward the touchline, and it was kept in. Great hustle there by DeYoung. I'm not sure anybody else thought he could get to it, as that shot bounces into the arms of Schelling. Would have ended up well wide of the frame. This is Arslan. Running out of space along the sideline, and he was not forced out, but was forced into giving it away. No Dolphins in the area. Now the Spartans will look to get started again, this time from the midfield. Long ball up the sideline. It's a pretty good one. Comes to rest in the corner on the foot of DeGiorgi. Stack working back to the edge of the attacking third. Lou toward goal. Easy save for Schelling. He's been busy here in the second half. A lot of pressure put on Dolphins goalkeeper in this one. Specifically with the attempt in front that led to the corner. He did not have to make that save. But were it not for the block, it would have been his most difficult chance to this point. Off the ball sent into the midfield by Schelling. Atanga was pressured heavily and fouled. Free kick, Staten Island here. LaRose will take it. And he plays it back to Beaton. Up the far side, Torres pass easily intercepted. And the Spartans look to move quickly here, but Torres recovered. And now LaRose moving quickly the other way has Benvenuto. Benvenuto, cross, Lopez. Lopez had his attempted shot or pass, whatever the intent was. It was broken up. I think the Dolphins bench may have wanted a foul or a handball. They were clamoring for something as the Spartans get down the pitch quickly. Clearance for the Dolphins fails. And now a shot toward goal is stopped by Schelling. Not sure what call the Dolphins were clamoring for there. Really tough to figure it out from this far away, but they were definitely animated in the CSI bench. As we have another foul in the midfield, it will be a Dolphins free kick. Lopez was taken down. Right around 25 minutes to go in this second half. Still no score between the Dolphins and Spartans. LaRose toward goal. It was knocked toward the center of the pitch. Now rebounding toward the sideline. Sent in the air by Stack. Well up the pitch. And LaRose with a physical challenge there. Did win possession briefly, but the Dolphins sending it into the midfield. Give it back to Stack. Stack working into the attacking third. Centering it and scoring! It seemed like a harmless ball into the midfield, sent that way by CSI. The Spartans control. The Spartans quickly work it up into the corner. And the cross from there sets up the goal from in front. It was Jerry Tagliavia, if I'm reading that correctly. Jerry Tagliavia with the goal, as I had to make that out through my sun-covered screen. There was an assist on the goal as well, and that will be announced momentarily. The setup, as important as the shot on that one. Tagliavia is set up right in the center of the pitch. About halfway inside the 18. You can't ask for a much better look than that. The setup, a good one as well. And the Spartans lead at 1-0. Dolphins awarded a throw along the near side. All right, so it's Jerry Tagliavia. Thank you to Brad on PA. The assist goes to Ferlisi. Tagliavia from Ferlisi with about 24 minutes to go. Dolphins trail for the first time today, and the Spartans may have a chance to double their lead here. De La Vibora couldn't find space. The flag is up. And that goal will not count. It was put in, but the flag was up. And I don't think there was much question about that one. Ortega didn't think so. But he might be a bit biased. Would have been the goal scorer there. Should the Dolphins fail to get even, or even if they tie, anything but a win, and they will have played 2 of their 3 matches without. This one's played up the side. 1 moment to complete that point. Win or lose, the Dolphins have played their 3 conference matches against teams that have not yet lost in conference play. Malloy's lone result, a draw against this Dolphins team. CSI working it back toward their own goal. They have it in the midfield here. Schelling well beyond the 18, has it on his foot now, and will send it up the pitch. But the Dolphins, at least based on the early records in conference play, and granted it's early, but the teams they have faced thus far have yet to lose. And I think if you come away with at least a point here, you're still in decent enough shape. That being said, it makes the game on Saturday very, very important. On the women's side, with 1 fewer team in the conference, 2 wins secures you 2 tiebreakers against those 2 programs. And that might be all you need with 8 teams in the conference standings. The men would need 3 wins to secure 3 tiebreakers. And there's no guarantee you'll be in a tiebreaker scenario with the teams you've beaten. So the more of those you have, the better. I think typically once you cross the 3 wins in conference play threshold, it's a fairly safe bet that you'll get one of those top 6 spots. But the 3 teams you beat could be very important. And it makes it that much more important not to lose to teams that are going to factor into the standings around the same spot you are. 2 teams are trading possession in the midfield as the Spartans clear over the far side. The Dolphins will throw. Dolphins played into the corner off the throw, and Arslan couldn't beat his marker there. Ball to the corner was intercepted, played back down the pitch. Schelling scoops it up and quickly rolls it onto the foot of Atonga. He connects with Lopez, center of the pitch, LaRose. LaRose, long ball up toward the corner for Arslan. He was cut off once again, second time. And the last few seconds that's happened as the Spartans send it over the sideline for a Dolphins throw taken immediately. Mesrar into the box, headed away by Stack and cleared. Tonga there waiting, trying to keep it with CSI. He couldn't. Beaton waiting in the back, heads it in the other direction, and we had contact, and I thought perhaps a foul called. It looked like the official was signaling toward the bench for a moment, but it was a foul. And LaRose sets up for a CSI free kick just beyond the midfield. LaRose free kick, short of goal, bouncing around in the box, and the Spartans clear. It rolls a long way up the pitch, where Atonga is waiting. He will send it back toward the box. Volleyed in the back by the Spartans. De La Vibora has it on his foot in the midfield. Dispossessed by Lopez. Now Mesrar, short pass. Villegas for Lopez. Lopez pressured backwards just a bit. This is Beaton. Beaton up ahead. Benvenuto right back to Atanga. Benvenuto has some room. Working toward the corner. Tried to cross. And that earns the Dolphins a corner off the deflection by the Spartans. LaRose will take the corner. Last time the Dolphins had this situation, they played it short. It was cleared over the touchline, and then they attempted the long throw. Once again, Lopez close by, being shadowed in front of LaRose. Corner on the way. Connected with the body of a Spartan. They tried to clear, couldn't do it. Mesvar plays it into the box. Torres was able to find Villegas, who sends one into the parking lot. It'll be a goal kick for the Spartans, as Stack will send on some substitutions. Just over 17 minutes to play here in the second half. Dolphins trail 1-0, as I think they may have just stopped it briefly. Goal kick played short by Stack. They work forward into the midfield. Immediately, Dolphins pressure them back into their own end. Ball for NJ. Drawing a lot of attention from the Dolphins. They're closing in around him as the Spartans continue to play east to west in their own end, taking their time. And why not with the 1-goal lead? And what they've done has been pretty effective so far today. Methodically working up the pitch, and once they've had the opening, typically up the wing, they've immediately looked to put the pressure on and move forward. And here they come again. Through ball for the corner. It's there. Torres putting in the work defensively for the Dolphins as the Spartans retreat to the edge of the attacking third. Ball now in the midfield. Dolphins did a good job to shut down that chance initially. Spartans will try again from the near side. Ortega into the center of the pitch, making the call for it. And working in toward the touchline was Jamie, and now it might be pronounced Jaime if I'm not mistaken, though that's a guess on my part. I'm going to go with Jaime. Either way, he made the call and had the ball knocked off of his foot and over the touchline. So we have another whistle and a clock stoppage. Head official heading over to the Spartans bench. Thinking maybe one of their players was a bit too vocal. Dolphins will throw from the near side. And we have another whistle. They'll back him up a bit. The head official today right on top of things. He won't give an inch. We've seen it on the free kicks, on the throws, and now the Spartans moving in for a cross. It travels over the bar and rolls over the touchline for a Dolphins goal kick. Substitutions being waved on here. Kareem Medito in for the Dolphins, waving Ty Torres to the bench. Lucas Schelling, goal kick sent into the attacking third. The Dolphins trying to gain control. LaRose avoids a challenge. and was able to find Beaton right behind him. Ball back on the foot of LaRose, and he was dispossessed. Ball rolling down toward the corner, and the Spartans ran out of room. Goal kick, Staten Island. Beaton off the short goal kick, sends it up the pitch near side. Benvenuto running out of room, won't get to it, and Stack will throw. We await the Spartans' throw. Taken short and played out toward the center of the pitch. Stack once again working toward the corner on the far side. And that was sent toward goal over everything. Once again, a goal kick for the Dolphins, but they haven't really generated much here in the second half. Ball cleared away over the far side off the Dolphins' goal kick. CSI throws again quickly. A series of clearances a long way into the woods, leading to another Dolphins throw. CSI now moving up the pitch largely via throw-in. And that one cut off in front of the Dolphins bench by Stack, last touched by CSI. Throw in from Stack here into the midfield. Medito was right there waiting. Lopez for LaRose. LaRose into the corner. Torres sends one behind the frame. Goal kick for the Spartans as time continues to wind down here in the second half. We have shy of 11 minutes to go now. Goal kick from Stack was played short. We have another whistle, but it's just a Dolphins throw. CSI working along the sideline in toward the box, but again, they're not given any room. Ball ends up in the midfield. Medito short pass, Benvenuto up into the corner for LaRose. LaRose trying to avoid a challenge and could not. Spartans now working through the midfield. And Beaton took down one of the Spartans. That was Ferlisi. And Ferlisi plays it over to his backs. Positioned well beyond midfield toward the other end of the pitch. Final 10 minutes from Sparkill now. Ortega got in some heavy traffic and took it away briefly, but LaRose controls. He's looking for Torres. Torres got a head on it. He's through in the penalty area. Puts one toward goal and over the bar. He had NJ closing in on him and had to try and chip it over his head. He got it over the Spartans goalkeeper, but unfortunately over everything else as well. A great chance for Ty Torres and the Dolphins to net an equalizer. But Torres put just a bit too much air on that shot, and it remains a 1-0 game. Spartans preparing for a goal kick here, following the shot by Torres. Ortega waiting up the pitch, trying to angle himself around Beaton, then forced into a pass. It was broken up by Asensio Cueva, deflected over the touchline by the Dolphins defender. And we await a Spartans throw. Throw in toward the corner. Asensio Cueva right there. And the ball is sent off of him, so good heads-up play there to send the ball off of Asensio Cueva by DeGiorgi. And now the Spartans will attempt a corner. Nico Gallegos will take it. And another goal here could put this game away. Some words being exchanged, a shove or two maybe. Ahead of this corner, that's sent toward the middle of the box. And whistles came in. Schelling being directed by Beaton where to go with that ball. And they get it where they want it. Atanga keeps it in along the touch line, but the touch on the header too strong. Ball being sent back and forth across midfield. Ortega had his cross blocked on the sliding challenge by Beaton, and he clears it away. Ball rolling toward the corner still. Atanga shielding Ortega off of it. And Dolphins are awarded the goal kick. Ball in the midfield with Stack. Couldn't connect on the pass, however. And the Dolphins control. CSI with it along the far side. Medito. Now Schelling connects with Atanga along the near side. Benvenuto and Atanga look to work the give and go. They do keep it in. Lopez had it on his foot briefly, was dispossessed. And now Stack had a chance on the attempted through ball, but it does not connect, and it is cleared over the far side. Or at the very least, traveled over the far side. Dolphins are awarded the throw. Ball over the touch line again, just in front of the Dolphins bench. CSI will throw a second time. They throw it toward the corner. It rebounded off a foot and found Peterson LaRose in the midfield. Schelling now appeared ready to join the attack as NJ grabs that shot attempt on the fly. Stack with it near side. They play it toward the center of the pitch. Now at their backs. Ball for the far side. Ended up on the body of Asensio Cueva, but he couldn't control it. And it was initially kept in along the touchline, but it didn't stay that way. Off the throw, Stack has it in the attacking third. That one sent toward goal. Not close. It bounces along the touchline, and Schelling will scoop it up. Very quickly, he gets it up to Benvenuto, who has some room. Now Lopez through the legs of a defender. Lopez barreling forward. Down he goes. Sent in the air by Mesrar. Torres along the touchline, circles toward the corner. Asensio Cueva over to Mesrar, edge of the box. He plays one into the middle. It's headed toward goal and on target by Lopez. He just couldn't connect with it flush enough to get any velocity on that attempt. He put it right on target. There just wasn't enough on the shot. Ball on the foot of Schelling again. We're under 4 minutes to go. And I think we're actually left with a bit less time than that. There was a foul called, and the outcome is being discussed. They, I believe, just stopped the clock. But there are a lot of bodies between myself and the head official. The foul's on the Dolphins with 3.5 to go, so we're about where I thought we were in terms of time. Ball bouncing around in the midfield. LaRose got a foot in there to send it up the pitch, but no Dolphins on the receiving end. Schelling getting into one. Sends it deep into the attacking third. Spartans got a piece but could not clear. Mesrar moving toward the corner. Couldn't connect with Villegas. Dolphins will try again here, looking for Villegas, and again, just couldn't get it to him. Lopez waiting underneath the clearance. Now a Tonga from Lopez. Tonga working toward the center of the pitch. Stonewalled. Tonga trying to win it back. Got some help from LaRose, but Spartans control, and they have a lot of room. Not really looking to be aggressive here, just looking to kill some clock. Stack with it now on the far side. Dribbling toward the corner. Asensio Cueva trying to make sure they can't do that. Medito with the takeaway. Now Benvenuto. Lopez took a shove from behind, stays with it, and moves forward. Strong sliding tackle from behind. The ball stays in along the far side. Benvenuto forced to give it up. Asensio Cueva for Medito. Schelling in on the attack now. Schelling is almost at midfield as Tonga looked to play it into the middle. Final minute of the second half, and a flag was up for offsides. Spartans and Dolphins will make substitutions here, so they will stop the clock with under a minute to play. When play resumes, the Spartans will throw. Final seconds of this one, Stack leading CSI 1-0. It's headed by Tonga off the throw. LaRose strong on the challenge, wins possession for the Dolphins. Dolphins looking to work into the attacking third. We have a whistle, and the clock was stopped. Dolphins bench not happy with that last whistle. Foul went against them. There is a Spartan down, and he remains down. Felicia, I believe, is the player who is down on the turf. And it looks like we're getting a bit closer to resuming play. Fomba Amara checked in for the Dolphins when those substitutions came on about a minute ago. It is a Spartans free kick. And if the Dolphins don't turn this into an attacking play quickly, this could do it. It is cut off by the Dolphins near the top of the 18. And CSI sends it back into the midfield. Plenty of white jerseys there waiting. Atanga had it deflected away from him and over the sideline. Ortega comes up limping. A long throw into the corner. Cleared by the Spartans again. 7 seconds to go. Throw into the box. Dolphins in front. Lopez shoots, and he sends one into the parking lot to end it. The Dolphins had a chance late off another long throw. It was a good one. Lopez just needed a few more seconds to corral it on his foot and get a quality shot off, as that brings this conference matchup to a close. The Dolphins fall to St. Thomas Aquinas College by a final score of 1-0. It is a split of today's ECC doubleheader between Staten Island and Stack. Women's soccer of College of Staten Island wins game 1. Men's soccer of St. Thomas Aquinas College takes game number 2. The Dolphins head to Buffalo for their next road match. That takes place on Saturday at Duville. As for us here on Sportsnet, our next broadcast right now is looking like next Thursday in Wilmington, as men's soccer will take on Goldie Beacom. We'll be right back on the call, audio only, here on YouTube. Our next home soccer broadcast not until October 15th. So a couple of weeks before we're on the air again from the College of Staten Island. But until next time, this has been Joe Foreman on the call. We thank everyone who has checked in to our YouTube live streams today. Once again, our final score in Game 1, CSI over Stack 2-1 in the women's soccer matchup. Stack defeats CSI 1-0 in the men's matchup. Thanks for listening, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night.